Good evening and welcome to another Channel 60 sports presentation. This afternoon, the Cougars and the Inglewood Sentinels will go at it. The Cougars need this victory to go to the playoffs. They will clinch a spot in the playoffs if they get the victory today. Well, we missed the opening kickoff, but for the Sentinels, number 4, Stevante Topsy, takes it out to the 25-yard line to get this thing started. This game was originally set for 7:30. It was moved to the 3 o'clock afternoon game. Topsy's gonna throw it, incomplete. So the Sentinels taking a page out of the Cougars playbook as they go to the gadget play here in the first quarter. I'm Jason Miller joining us and joining you, and we here at Channel 60 did a lot of hard work to get here at 3 o'clock to get this game and bring it to you, the fans. So I hope you enjoy it. Phillip Reed's the quarterback for Inglewood. Starts off in an I formation. And he hands it off to Shannon Dorsey. Dorsey twists and turns, and he's down at the 28-yard line. Sioli Tuipulotu for the Cougars on the stop that play. So the Cougars need this one, and they will clinch a spot in the playoffs. A win here and a win next week against Lusinger, and they have a chance for first place. 3rd down and 7 for the Sentinels. Reed passes it underneath, caught, but it's going to be a loss on the play. Anthony Porter makes the catch. Nice tackle made by Thedford. So the Sentinels are going to have to punt the ball away on 4th down and 7. Nice afternoon, about 74 degrees. 74 degrees, clear, a couple clouds in the skies. Topsy punts the ball away. It's going to be Tuipulotu standing at his 40-yard line, has a wall of blockers. Tuipulotu cuts it in, and Tuipulotu has one man to beat. Tuipulotu will score on a 60-yard punt return for a touchdown. No flags on the field, and the Cougars that quickly go ahead 6-0. 60-yard punt return, touchdown, Hawthorne. Take another look at it. Sioli Tuipulotu, we've seen him return this season, and he just likes to take it straight, get some great blocking right here. Great blocking. I don't know if this is as much as great blocking as bad punt return defense. All right, the Cougars in their outpost formation for the kick return as Pilotu gets the Cougars on the board with a 60-yard punt return. All right, their outpost formation. We know the Cougars like to go for 2, and they'll go for 2 here. Muwala gets the catch, and it is good. So the Cougars with an 8-0 lead here early in the first quarter with 10 minutes and 37 seconds remaining. So Sioli Tuipulotu with a 60-yard punt return, and the Cougar faithful love it as Tuipulotu took it 60 yards and the 2-point conversion. Cougars 8, Sentinels nothing. From Caroline Coleman Stadium in Inglewood. So Inglewood will have another chance at it. Marvin Banks and Stevante Topsy back to receive for Inglewood. All right, they'll get another chance at it. And this is going to be Anthony Porter. Porter starts right, comes back to the left, tries to get outside, and he's finally knocked out of bounds on a nice return out past the 30-yard line. So a nice return by Porter. Inglewood down 8-0. They're going to try and get some of that back. Inglewood, when they played Peninsula on the first 2 plays of the game, gave up touchdowns. So we're going to take another look at that last touchdown. They gave up first 2 touchdowns, so they have a dependency of killing themselves early. We're going to have a timeout. Gives us time to take another look at that touchdown on the 60-yard punt return by Sioli Tuipulotu. Gets good blocking, not very good return defense by the Sentinels, and Sioli Tuipulotu takes it all the way on Lawndale's Community Cable Channel 60. The Cougars with, of course, a record of 5-4 coming into this one. Or pardon me, the Cougars coming in with a record of 5-3. Only one loss, though, and that came to Peninsula and the Bay League. The Panthers play North Torrance today, and if North can somehow knock off Peninsula, the Cougars will be tied for first place. We'll see a 3-way tie, and that'll make the all-important Hawthorne losing your game even more paramount. First down and 10. The Sentinels starting off in a power I formation, but everybody's all the way to the right. So you think they might run it right. Of course, Shannon Dorsey gets it, and he's knocked down by Tuipulotu, the touchdown man, after a gain of about 2.5. So that Hawthorne defense has played well in recent weeks, especially the front seven, led by Corey Thetford, Sioli Tuipulotu, and J.R. Mwala. Cougar defense, not a problem in this point of the season. They just have to work on being more consistent on offense. 2nd and 7 for Inglewood. Derek Carter's the receiver flanked out to the left side. Reed goes to the slant, incomplete, and pass interference is coming up against Courtney Ketter. Ketter, the senior, was draped all over Reed's back like a bad shirt. Take another look, see if we can see the pass interference. Reed looks at him all the way, and there it is. His hand draped around the receiver. Good call. Courtney Ketter, the guilty party for the Cougars. So Inglewood down 8-0. Gets a break. And they're going to get it 15 yards. Not from the spot of the infraction. It's 15-yard penalty. First down and 10. Inglewood with it right at the middle of the field. Reed off the blitz. They pick it up well. Has a man open down the sideline. Jermaine Chapman comes up to break it up. Nice play by Jermaine Chapman. Shannon Dorsey, the intended receiver, but Jermaine Chapman, using that sprinter speed of his, gets over to break the pass up. Take another look at number 4, Jermaine Chapman. Outstanding return man, shows his defensive skills, gets over in time, and almost picks that one off. 2nd and 10 for Inglewood. Addie Porter tries to get outside, turns the corner, and he's chopped down after a gain of 5. Nice blocking on the counter play for the Sentinels. It's going to be 3rd down and 5 for Inglewood. So the Sentinels, after a dismal first drive, come on to move the ball somewhat into Cougar territory here at the 45-yard line. Here's a possession play for Inglewood. 3rd down and 5. Third and 5, the Cougars with 4 defensive backs in the ball game. Kenneth Finau, the defensive end, number 7, is back after sitting out last week's game. They come out of the shotgun formation. Reed, under heavy pressure up the middle, gets hit, gets it away, incomplete. Pass intended for Sandy Fletcher. Sandy Fletcher was the intended receiver. It was a little bit high and outside for him. So with it being 4th down and 5, Philip Reed, the quarterback, goes out. So it looks like the Sentinels will have to punt the ball away. Sioli Tuipulotu back deep to receive along with Brandy Russell. Tuipulotu already has a return for a touchdown this game. All right, Topsy has it, lays into it, and it'll go to Tuipulotu, but it's a bad kick, so the Cougars will get pretty good field position at the 26-yard line. Channel 60 Sports proud to bring you this afternoon game, a first in high school sports here, as its game time is 3 o'clock. Peninsula, of course, used to the day games. As Inglewood Sentinels once in a while will play a day game when Morningside, who they share this field with, has priority on the night games. The Cougars come out with a slot formation to the near side. And Chapman throws to Chapman is the receiver, makes the catch from the quarterback, Andre Cummings. And Chapman using his skills after the catch to get about 15 yards when he should have only got 5. Jermaine Chapman, the senior, return specialist, but we've seen him play more offense and defense this year. 6 feet, 180 pounds. First and 10 again for the Cougars, as this is their first offensive possession of the game. They go to the same formation, but on the other side. Nobody's out there to stick Chapman off the bat, and Chapman misses it. And it was almost caught by a Cougar, Kevin Jackson, but it's incomplete. So they tried the same play, but to the other side. There was no corner out there to cover Chapman. Andre Cummings saw it, tried to get it to him quickly, but looked like he was just a little bit too anxious that play. Now the Cougars in the 2nd down and 10. Same formation as the last 2 plays for Hawthorne. They think they have Inglewood burn over there, but they go with the counter play, and Joe Etchema cuts it back up the middle. Joe Etchema breaks free down inside the 35-yard line. We've seen Joe Etchema the last couple of weeks, and he's played terrifically, the 5'11 junior. He has played terrific the last couple of weeks, reminding many of us of Marcus Allen. He looked like Marcus on that run, as the offensive line blocking was terrific. Take a look at the kickout block. Take a look at William Van, number 55, lays a big block, knocks out 2 Sentinels, and Joe Etchema does the rest on his own. So the Cougars, with an 8-0 lead, they are moving the ball. They go with the same slot formation. Running back switch out of the eye to the split back formation. Cummings going for the bundle and incomplete. Ball almost intercepted by Marvin Banks. Intended for Prince Hampton on the streak pattern. So the Cougars with another 2nd down and 10. You got to wonder if the Cougars stand with the same formation. You either wonder if they're trying to show the teams in the playoffs something, or maybe show the Lusinger Olympians something, maybe to throw them off a bit. All right, they come back to staggered eye formation, strong right. Etchema gets it on the pitch, gets upfield inside the 30 to the 27-yard line. Loud hit made by number 5, Ryan Thompson. You can hear that one from where we're sitting, high above the western sidelines. So the Cougars, 3rd down and 5 now. 3rd and 5 for Hawthorne, and they put the ball in the air all but 2 plays here in this opening possession. Etchema and Russell in the backfield. Etchema the tail of the tandem. Cummings, play action fake. Tries to get outside. Inglewood does a terrific job to string him out and drop him for the loss. Fletcher gets the penetration and knocks him down. That'll leave 4th down for the Hawthorne Cougars, and Inglewood comes up with a big stop. Cougars no strangers to the fake punt as they're in punt formation. Back deep to receive is Marvin Banks, standing at his own 10-yard line. Now he backs it up. Back to punt is Kevin Jackson, and it's a bad snap. Jackson gets a hold of it, almost blocked. He kicks it into the end zone and out for the touchback, so Inglewood will get it at the 20-yard line. 6 minutes, 17 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Cougars lead it 8-0 from a daytime crowd here at Coleman Stadium, Sentinel Field as some might call it, here on Arborvitae and Inglewood Avenue. Cougar fans tried to make the trip today. They probably thought the game was at 7:30 also, just like many others in the South Bay. Inglewood trying to mount a productive drive. They get it at the 20-yard line. First down and 10. Up the middle, Dorsey gets a nice hole, and he breaks it off for about 4. Out to the 24, maybe the 25-yard line. Second down and 5 for Shannon Dorsey, who was a key member of last year's Sentinel team. Second down and 5, Inglewood. Coming out to the left side for the Sentinels is Marvin Banks. Derek Carter out to the right. Handoff up the middle, no gain. Porter got it, and he saw a bunch of white jerseys. Leading the convoy was J.R. Mwala, the junior, showing himself as one of the best linebackers as a junior in the South Bay area. That Cougar defense has played their tails off against the run this season. They are a group that has a lot of pride, and they don't give up much. All right, third down and 5. Big third down play, and did it drop on the ground? No, they're going to rule it a catch at the 33-yard line. So the Sentinels will keep the ball. Catch was made by Marvin Banks on the turn in. And a first down for Inglewood. So the Sentinels get a key first down here in the first quarter, down 8-0 to the Cougars. At first look, looked like that one might have skipped the ground, but the official had a good angle to judge the play, and he did a good job. I formation and a Sentinel late running onto the field. We go to the pitch here on the near side, and a big hole for Porter. Porter has lots of room, tries to turn the corner, but he does a good job in getting it out to the 50-yard line. Keith Green, Jermaine Chapman forced him out of bounds, but not until after a 14-yard gain for Porter. Anthony Porter got around the end on the power I formation. The power I gives you an extra blocker, and you see Porter beats containment, and Jermaine Chapman was the only man keeping him from going a long, long way. Look for Inglewood to go back to that play. There's that weird power I set. Porter gets it this time on the other way. The Cougars read it. The Cougars stop him. The Cougars drop him. He drops the ball also, and the Cougars say they got it. And it's recovered by Inglewood at the 37-yard line. So they went to the same play but to the other side. Let's take another look at that as Porter tried to turn around the end. Nice job by Kenny Finau to keep his outside containment. Keith Green came flying up. There you see him knock the ball out. Oh, and the Cougars had a chance at it, but Inglewood pounces on it. They lose 13. Second and 23 yards for a first down. Second and 23, Kenny Finau, the junior, was hurt last week. 6 feet, 220. Did a good job on the last play. Contained the running back, Porter, from getting to the outside, and he knocked it away also. So second down and 23 for Inglewood. Is momentary break in the action allow us to tell you that next week Channel 60 Sports will be at Howcat Field for the annual crosstown rivalry game between the Olympians of Lusinger and these Hawthorne Cougars. Here you see some of the Inglewood cheerleaders. All right, second down and 23. They'll roll the clock, and I believe we're set back for action. Second and 23, Philip Reed under center. Big rush by Finau. Finau's got him from behind at the 27-yard line. Kenny Finau. Boy, did the Hawthorne miss that last week. Kenneth Finau has been one of the best defensive ends in the Bay League as he just gets around the outside and hauls the quarterback down from behind. So the Sentinels losing 10 more, third down and 33. Here's where you got to think they may go to the draw or something safe, because very unlikely that they'll get the first down against these quick Cougar defensive backs. All right, third and 33 for Inglewood. Play action pass. Reed will try and throw it, and Reed's pass is almost intercepted by Jermaine Chapman. So Inglewood will be forced to punt, down 8-0 here in the first quarter with 2 minutes and 39 seconds remaining. So Jermaine Chapman will go out of the ball game on the punt return defense for the Cougars. Tui Pelodu and Brandy Russell. Brandy Russell seems to never get a chance to return punts, as everyone knows his reputation around the South Bay. So Tui Pelodu's seen a lot of punt. And this will be Brandy Russell. It gets through his hands, and Brandy Russell's in big trouble. Gets it at the 30, the 40, Russell the 50, Russell back to the 40, Russell down inside the 30 to the 27-yard line. Brandy Russell, the senior, gets it and returns it straight down the sidelines. And the Cougars are loving when it's punt time for the Sentinels, because Inglewood's punt defense is not very good. Take another look. Went through Brandy Russell's hands. He finally got a chance to chase it down at around his 27-yard line. Brought it up the sidelines. All right, back to live action. Joe Etchema gets a hole, flag down. Etchema will score, but we'll see about the flag. Hold everything. It's going to be against the Cougars. So a beautiful run by Joe Etchema will be called back. Joe Etchema has done an outstanding job the last couple weeks, and they'll get the Cougars for clipping. See if we can take another look. Check out the clipping penalty against the Cougars. And there's going to be, I saw the clip. It looked like the tight end, Keith Akina, was the man who they called for the clip. First down and 10 for Hawthorne at the 45-yard line. Etchema in at tailback, gets the handoff off left side, tries to turn the corner, but he's strung out and dropped after a short gain. Coming down to 2 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Cougars 8, Inglewood nothing. Cougars points came off of a 60-yard punt return by Sioli Tuipulotu. All right, Hawthorne, second down and about, they got to get to the 19-yard line, so second down and long, I can tell you that. Ball at the 42. They got to get to the 19 for a first down. Brandy Russell gets the inside carry, and Russell down at the 38-yard line. Minute and 20 remaining here in the first quarter. Take another look at that last play. Nice play there made by Inglewood Sandy Fletcher. Sandy Fletcher stuffed it, Russell in the hole. All right, the Cougars going with that slot formation. Third down and 21. Cummings off of the play action fake, looks downfield. Cummings throws it to an open Chapman. Chapman has it. Chapman scores it. So on 3rd down and 21, the Cougars get 40. Jermaine Chapman on a 40-yard touchdown. All right, the Cougars again with that swinging gate. Extra point formation. So the Cougars have had plenty of big plays here in the first quarter. A 60-yard punt return and a 40-yard touchdown pass from Cummings. And they go for the 2-point conversion again. Brandy Russell's got it, and the Cougars lead it 16-0.
Ball was hiked to number 1 Russell, who makes a 2-point conversion.
Take another look at the replay. You see Andre Cummings escaping the pressure. Finds a wide open Jermaine Chapman. That looked like Elway to one of his receivers. So Andre the Arm finds Jermaine Chapman wide open. Take another look at it. And the Cougars up 16-0. Inglewood will have to do some soul searching now to see if they can come back from this big time 16-0 first quarter deficit, and the Cougar offense looks really, really prepared and ready to play here, at least in the first quarter. Band hasn't had much to cheer about. This, of course, one of the best bands in the area. Pleasure to hear them. And their trumpets. All right, Cougars set to kick it off again. Anthony Porter and Marvin Banks back to receive. And there's the kickoff. Marvin Banks going to take it at his 10-yard line, fumbles it, gets it back. Marvin Banks in trouble, and he's dropped. Does a good job to get it out past the 20-yard line with 39 seconds remaining in the first quarter. So the Cougars lead at 16-0 on the strength of a 60-yard punt return by Sioli Tuipulotu and a 40-yard touchdown catch by Jermaine Chapman. This is the time where the Cougar defense may come up with a big play if the Inglewood offense panics. Philip Reed under center, goes to the pitch. Philip Reed barely got that one off, and Porter is going to be dropped in the backfield for a loss. They give him forward progress to the 19, so it's only going to be a loss of 1, 2nd and 11. J.R. Mwala got in on that quarterback as soon as he was pitching that ball. There you see him drive him into the dirt, and then Kenny Finau, of course, does a terrific job at end. Misses the tackle, but holds him up long enough for Brandy Russell and his other buddies to come in. That's the end of the first quarter with our score. The Cougars 16 and Inglewood nothing on Channel 60 Sports. Take a moment to hear the band, why don't you? All right, the Cougars with a 16-0 advantage. And we're going to bring in my very, very funny broadcast colleague, Bill Barnes.
So far, we're looking at a score of 16-0. Hawthorne high up. What do you think the Inglewood guy is going to come out and try and do this quarter?
Hopefully get some positive yardage and play better punt defense. All right, they have it 1st down and 10 at the 19-yard line. Back to pass, Reed throws, almost intercepted, but caught. Caught by Fletcher for a gain of 7.
I tell you what, Mason, that's called staying with the ball.
Talk to Mike. Talk to Mike. All right, the Cougars almost had an interception. All right, 3rd down and 3 for Inglewood. Philip Reed under center as they got very lucky on that last play. Reed, play action, going deep down the right side. Keith Green is there for the defense, and he makes a nice play to keep Anthony Carter from the ball. But Keith Green with a beautiful play on the defensive side of the ball. They went to the post corner, and Keith Green is proud of himself. So another 4th down and another exciting punt play coming up. This has been the most exciting time of the game for the Hawthorne Cougars. So the Cougars defense is really taking it to the Sentinels here in the first half. 16-0 our score with 11 minutes remaining to play in the first half. All right, to punt it, Stevanti Topsy's going to punt it to either Sioli Tuipulotu or Brandy Russell. Pick your poison. And he is going to pick Brandy Russell. Russell's got it at the 45, up to the 50, cuts it back, tries the reverse field and does, picks up a couple blocks. He has a lot of running room. Flags are down. Russell's inside the 30, Russell inside the 20, Russell all the way down to the 12, but it may come all the way back because of a penalty.
I gotta walk my audio cable.
All right, and you see the clipping. Take another look at the replay. Brandy Russell, most returners would have let this one roll out of bounds, but he said, this is a week where I could pad my stats, as he brings it up nicely. Gets a key block right here. Is this where they're going to call I think they wanted to call the illegal block on Kenny Finau, but I think it was a bad call. They give Inglewood a break, but Brandy Russell did a terrific job on the return. First down and 10 for the Cougars. See if we can take a look at the illegal block. I don't see it yet. There, maybe on Tuipulotu. But I think they called it on Finau. His block's going to come in here. Yeah, no. There it is. That is an illegal block. That's on Van Manrav. Can't block below the knees on a kickoff. But Brandy Russell and his boys takes this long punt return. It's going to come all the way back. Cougars to have it first down and 10 from their own 33-yard line. And we have another momentary break in action. I don't know what they're going to say this time. All right, we're about set for put this ball into play. This gives me a chance to tell you that next week, Channel 60 Sports will be at Howcat Field for the Cougars and the Olympians in their crosstown rivalry game. We call it the Channel 60 Bowl. And I believe that the mayor will give the mayors of Lawndale and Hawthorne will come together and give a trophy to the winning school of that big game. So the rivalry really taking on a new direction here at the end of the 90s. All right, we have a timeout on the field. I believe that they're going to give a trophy cup for the winner. These kids are underage, so they can only fill it up with cranberry juice. All right, so join us next week for the Channel 60 Bowl. The Channel 60 Bowl next week. Join us on Channel 60 Sports. Come to the game yourself and catch us later. Andre Cummings going to hand it off to Etchema. Breaks the tackle at the line, and Marcus Allen Jr. takes it past the 35 to the 37-yard line.
Fletcher in on the tackle. Gain of 3 yards on
Sandy
the
Fletcher
down, 7 to go.
held on to him to make the stop. .10 minutes, 20 seconds remaining in the first half. The Cougars have dominated this game special teams-wise with some great returns. One for a touchdown that went 60 yards by Tui Pelotu and a 40-yard catch by Jermaine Chapman. But this is Tui Pelotu again, bouncing off tacklers to take it all the way. Forget about it. Touchdown, Cougars, 60 yards. Pardon me, 65-yard run by Sioli Tui Pelotu. So Sioli Tui Pelotu has been the big play man. 2 plays for 120 yards. Well, 125 yards as he took it 65 yards on this trap up the middle, and the Cougars leading 22-0. Look to add the extra point, and they're going to go for 2 again. They're giving Lusinger something to think about next week, and it will get in. Penalty flags on the play. Andre Cummings raced for the pylon, got it. They called the touchdown, so I believe the penalty may be against the Sentinels. Or will it? See if we could take another look. Look at the trap. Wide open. No linebackers in sight. Terrific blocking and driving, keeping the Inglewood men away from him. Look at this. He just bounces off Anthony Banks, bounces off number 21, Robert Malone, and shows that speed as Sioli Tui Pelotu has done the job.
The extra point is good.
So the penalty is declined on the extra point. It's against Inglewood. Take another look. The center is going to block back right there, opening up the hole, and Tui Pelotu got through it, beating everyone, including our cameraman downfield, showing that speed as the big man rumbles the bus. Tui Pelotu, 65 yards on Channel 60 Sports. We've got to give that man a nickname. So the crowd with not much to cheer about, she'll find something. If she can get some juice, she'll be happy. This is an excellent band as they play the Florida State Seminoles. $24-0. Hawthorne on the road, simply dominating. As their passing game and running game is coming together, and folks, the Hawthorne Cougars definitely look like CIF championship contenders this year. And this kickoff, he fumbles it into the end zone, and it's going to go for the touchback. They're going to get him for the safety. The ball did not force him into the end zone. They're going to get him for the safety because the ball did not force him into the end zone. The momentum of the ball did not take him into the end zone. He simply fumbled it and kicked it around in the end zone. The head referee called it a safety. They'll have a conference about it, and let's see what comes out of it. We also have a penalty mark on the play. Take another look. The momentum of the ball does not take him into the end zone since it's just rolling. It can't. He just tried to pick it up, muffed it, and he bounced. That's a safety by every single standard. And let's see what they'll say about it. We do have a penalty flag, though, so if it goes against the Cougars, it'll still be off or not. Wasn't that a bizarre play? It looks like it's against the Sentinels because the Cougar coaching staff is saying decline it. That may be a safety because he fumbled that ball, in fair territory, fumbled it back into the end zone. Looks like it's going to be against the Sentinels as he's talking to the captain, Brandy Russell, about his options. What a bizarre play. As Inglewood special teams has broken down completely this game. Dan Robbins, of course, we know he's animated. This is the Robbins watch. Take a look as he gets those arms flapping. But this is a call that may go his way. Well, ref's still talking about it. Looks like they may put it at the 20 and put it in ball 1st and 10 for Inglewood. Folks, that ball should have been a safety. It should have been called a safety, and I don't know what they're going to do about that. All right, here comes the official signal now. Illegal block against Inglewood. So I guess they're not going to call it a safety, as it's a bizarre night. Afternoon game, though. Daytime game. These players will get a chance to scout Lusinger later on tonight as they play Torrance at Zamborini Field. So the Sentinels get a big-time break. A big-time break, because that should have been a safety. They get a break, a legal block on the Sentinels. The 15-yard penalty, Hawthorne has to re-kick. And I tell you, if this is a close game, those coaches from Hawthorne would be arguing this one down until the end of the game, because they really got robbed on that one. All right, can't cry over spilled milk now. Cougars set to kick it off again. They're going to kick it off inside of Inglewood territory at the 45-yard line. All right, the kick will go in and out of the end zone. And I think they blew the whistle as he kicked it, so I think we'll do it all over again. 9:51 remaining in the first half. I think this kickoff is taking longer than the 9:51. Thank goodness they don't have the clock rolling through this game. All right. And we want you to stay tuned, because in the fourth quarter, we will announce our Channel 60 Sports Lawndale Cable Usage Corporation Player of the Game. Hard to argue against the Oli Tuipulotu so far. All right, now the Cougars set to kick it away. And a touchback. No penalty flags on the field. Hallelujah. So the Sentinels will take over 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line with 9:51 remaining in the first half from Caroline Coleman Stadium, Sentinel Field. The Cougar coaching staff has really put together a marvelous game plan for this game. That plane is flying awfully close to this field. And I'm going to duck right about now. They let those planes fly awfully close to this field. Wonder if there's some kind of law against that. All right, 1st and 10 Inglewood. Philip Reed in big-time trouble, going for the bundle. And it's caught, but it's caught by one of the bench players. So that one about 10 yards too much to the right. That one was intended for Fletcher. Actually, it was intended for Anthony Carter. It was caught by Fletcher, the player who's sitting on the bench. 2nd down and 10 for the Inglewood Sentinels. Ladies and gentlemen, this game is important for the Cougars. If they win tonight or this afternoon, they'll clinch a playoff berth. If North beats Peninsula, it'll be a 3-way tie for 1st place going into next week's final game of the season. Philip Reed beats Fanal to the outside, throws it, almost intercepted by Muala. So Muwala, we know he can hit, but maybe he doesn't have the hands because he had himself an interception and definitely a touchdown right there. Take another look at it as he beats Finau to the outside. Finau loses his outside containment. Phillip Reed's pass, though, look at that. Oh, right off the hands. Third down and 10, though, for Inglewood. So maybe they have to put the ball up in the air again, and the defensive backs for the Cougars get another opportunity to pick one off. Hawthorne with 4 defensive backs in the game. Phillip Reed sends a man in motion. Reed. Thetford is on him. Reed gets away from him. He'll try and run for it. Reed's going to come short as he ducks under the arm, maybe wisely for his own health, of J.R. Muwala because Muwala was looking to take his head off. So Inglewood with a 4th down. Let's see if they'll go for it here. Take another look. As Muwala first fakes the blitz, then decides, hey, I'm going for it. But Inglewood does a good job covering him. He backs off. Phillip Reed thinks he sees some opening and then says, whoop, I don't want any part of J.R. Muwala. Oh, the Cougars set to punt it away again. Or pardon me, the Sentinels to punt it away. It's Tui Pelotu. He'll have a chance. Up, Tui Pelotu dive for it. So it's 48-yard line is where the Cougars will start in Sentinel territory. First down and 10 Cougars, 48 yards away. 8:47 remaining in the first half on a special daytime game. It's been special the last 2 weeks. We had the doubleheader last week. This week we get a matinee game. Not at matinee prices, though. First down and 10 for the Cougars. Andre, the arm Cummings. Play action. Andre's looking deep. He loves to go deep, but he'll take off. Cummings up the middle. He has a hole, cuts outside, has the first. Gets about 20 yards on the run inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. So that threat, he has a great arm. He can also run with it. All right, there you see Cummings, Andre the arm Cummings. As his offense is starting to come together, and this defense has came together a long time ago. And the Cougars look like a team headed towards the playoffs with momentum on their side. They look to put it away, up 24-0 here in the first half. Brandy Russell gets it off tackle, bangs down inside the 20-yard line. Looks like an injured Inglewood Sentinel out there. Let's take another look, see where the injury came. There you see number 20. Didn't look like much. Something's hurting him. His back, he's grabbing his back. So maybe he just sprained a muscle in his back or something. So the Cougars, as we were saying, they have momentum going into the playoffs. Momentum going into next week, facing their rivals. If they can look good next week, they'd have to be one of the favorites going into the playoffs. As Hawthorne is number 1 right now. They're the number 1 team right now in the Bay League, but they're in second place. Early Bay League season loss to Peninsula cost them. Second down and 2 for the Cougars. Etchema in the backfield. He's gotten the job done all season as they fake the pitch to him, give it inside to Russell. Russell brings inside the 10-yard line, and he's down at the 8. Another first down for Hawthorne. Seven minutes and 33 seconds remaining in the first half. Take another look. They faked the pitch and gave the inside give to Russell. A nice play. See it a lot in the NFL, and Russell, with his excellent run, and gets it inside the 10-yard line. The Cougars have a outstanding one-two punch combination. But now they go to their backup backfield with Tui Pelotu in at fullback and Keith Green in at tailback. Tui Pelotu has to be considered one of the best backup fullbacks in the area. Keith Green cutting it upfield inside the 5 and down at the 3-yard line as he looks to give the Cougars another touchdown with 7 minutes remaining in the first half.
79, another tackle.
Timeout called by Inglewood.
Inglewood calls timeout.
All right, Tui Pelotu has done the job for the Cougars and then some. But you have got to consider Jermaine Chapman and his speed. He's done the job for the Cougars and even more than what he's asked for. Andre Cummings' arm. He's done the job. The Cougars have really looked like they're clicking on all cylinders here this afternoon against Inglewood. And that defense, you can't say enough for them. They've really stepped it up. Even at the beginning of the season, they've always been the strong points for the Cougars. And we were just waiting for the offense to come together, and it looks like they've done that. It looks like J.R. Muwala and Kenny Finau, along with Tui Pelotu, are in the game. All right, the Cougars, second down and goal from the 4-yard line. Tui Pelotu and Finau in the backfield. J.R. Muwala, interesting enough, split at wide receiver. Tui Pelotu has it. Oh, he's tripped up. Tripped up by Fletcher. He had a touchdown, but Fletcher, with a fingernail, tripped him up. 6:40 and counting remaining in the first half, but Fletcher tripped him up because Tui Pelotu had an easy touchdown ahead of him. All right, third down and goal now for the Cougars. They want to put this one away early and put the women and children to bed and go looking for dinner, right? They go out in the T formation, hand it off to Finau, and he drives towards the goal line and short. Down at about the 1-foot line. So the Cougars with a decision to make on 4th down and goal. With 6 minutes left. No doubt, looks like they should go for it as they're bringing in their big gun, Brandy Russell, to bring in the play. Fourth down and goal from the 1-foot line. Hawthorne up 24-0. 5:39 left. T formation. Cummings under center. Gives it to Russell. He scores. And the Cougars up 30-0 in the first half. We're not even going to talk about if there's a mercy rule or not. Brandy Russell, senior, played his best ball late in the season last year, playing his best ball late in the season this year also. Outpost formation, the Cougars are giving teams a lot to think about. They've done a lot of different stuff this game. Outpost formation on 30-0 score. Urbano looks to add the extra point. Up. And perfect. So Hawthorne leads at 31-0 with 5.5 left to play here in the first half. Take another look at the touchdown. Brandy Russell's played his best ball all season, gets it on the power, and the Cougars have simply powered over the Sentinels here in the first half. Take a break. Be back in about 2 seconds on Channel 60 Sports. All right, back for the kickoff. Shannon Dorsey, a lot of running room coming to the near side, and Dorsey dropped as you saw the flag fly through your pitcher. First down for Inglewood as the Hawthorne's defense comes back onto the field. Got to wonder if second half we might see some of those reserves. First down and 10, Sentinels at the 23-yard line. But the penalty will take them back down to the 10-yard line. So first down, Inglewood from their own 10-yard line, backed up in the shadow of their own goalpost. As that big, sloppy offensive line gets up to the ball. Inglewood showing wing T formation now, so they go to something new. Reed going deep down the middle, has a man, incomplete. Intended for Fletcher. Sandy Fletcher running the streak up down the middle, maybe call it a skinny post. Kevin Jackson was defending, but he had him beat deep, excuse me. Second and 10. So Inglewood went to the wing T formation now as they're down 31-0, decides to try something new. Bob Sharp, head coach for the Sentinels. Sharp, if that's a familiar name to you, his son Jason Sharp played at Lusinger High School from 1992 to 1994. Inside give, big hole, and Shannon Dorsey brings it out past the 15 to the 17, 18-yard line. Third and short coming up for Inglewood. Not expected to be a big crowd on a day game like this, but some people made the trip. Take another look at that. All right, third down and 2 coming up for Inglewood from their 18. Sandy Fletcher splits out to the left side with Derek Clark. Cougars showing blitz. They come with it. Reed beats the pressure, tries to get it off, incomplete. That one was intended for Shannon Dorsey, but Phillip Reed running to his left. That's a hard pass to make coming back to your receiver who's running up the field. Not expected to make that pass. All right, another exciting punt coming up. And pick your poison. The Cougars take Brandy Russell out, but they put in Jermaine Chapman. So no break coming up for the Sentinels on the punt coverage. Jermaine Chapman and Sioli Tuipulotu standing at the 49-yard line. Back to receive. Another bad snap, and Inglewood pounces on it. At the 7-yard line, another bad snap. Cougars take over, first down and goal to go. So the Inglewood Sentinels, notoriously known for holding themselves back on mental mistakes, mental errors, they made a bad play there, and they've made their bad plays on special teams. Really haven't done a bad job otherwise, but they got down so quickly they had to go away from their game plan. So first down and goal for the Cougars at the 7-yard line. Etcheman and Russell split. Brandy Russell up the middle, gets a hold, bangs down to the goal line on the trap, gets down to the 1. We're going to take another look at it. Hawthorne runs their trap. They're running the trap more and more this season, as Brandy Russell is an excellent fullback to give the trap play to. Take another look. The pull by 65. The center blocks his man. Tackle comes down on the linebacker. And the Cougars run it well. Second and goal from the 1-yard line. Cougars already up 31-0. 3:12 left to play. Cummings split the backs again. Andre rolling out to his right. Looking, Tuipulotu's open. Oh, he couldn't hold on to it. Bad pass by Chapman. Tuipulotu was wide open. He was about as open for me to you out there listening to this broadcast and watching this broadcast. No one was near him on the out pass. It was perfectly ran. Third down and goal to go again for the Cougars. From the 1. third down and third down and goal from the 1. Cummings with a receiver to each side of him. Just gives it to Etchema. He'll bend his body down short. 4th down. Same situation as the last possession. 4th down and goal from the 1-inch line. Munoz for Inglewood did a terrific job filling that hole, getting in Etchema's way. See the pulling guard, doesn't get around in time. Marvin Banks stops him. And they stop him inside the 1. Timeout's going to be called by the Cougars. All right, and for some analysis of this game, we'll get Bill Barnes' most unique view of the ball game.
Well, I tell you, Jason, I've got to say that Hawthorne must have something to prove after that shellacking that they took a couple weeks ago to Peninsula. They're really out to make a difference in their whole program here. And by the look of the score, I'm going to have to say that they're on the move. Back to you, Jason.
That's our own Bill Barnes and his unique perspective of the football game. We have a nice perspective right on the 50-yard line seats. So does she. With 2:36 remaining, Cougars up 31-0. Really look like they haven't had to break a sweat. And the Inglewood faithful still here. As they just got out of school, headed over to the football game. All right, 4th down and goal. The Cougars coming to the line. Duck. I formation. Tui Pelotu now. Split backs. 4th down and goal. Back to throw. Cummings in deep trouble. Tui Pelotu's open. He's got it. He scores. Touchdown, Hawthorne. And it's the Cougars 37. The Sentinels nothing. Hawthorne has come to Sentinel Field, and they have simply dominated. Take another look at that one. Wide open. Same play as they couldn't connect on earlier in the drive. They connect on it this time. Wide open. Swinging gate once again. Extra point by Urbano is good. So the Cougars lead it 38-0 from Sentinel Field. And if you're Hawthorne faithful, you couldn't have dreamt up anything more of a better situation for the Cougars, because 38-0 going into their crosstown rival game against Lusinger. The Olympians will have a lot to work on in practice next week. Give the mic now to Bill Barnes. And Bill, can Inglewood get back in this ball game?
Well, it's very possible that Inglewood could get in the ball game. The game is definitely not out of reach, not with a whole half of play to go, Jason. But I tell you, they're probably just a little bit distracted, because I myself know, just by looking at the Hawthorne Cougars, it just gives me the urge to order a Happy Meal. I don't know really what it is. It's something psychological. But so far, it's been a one-sided ball game, all Cougar.
Bill, have you had your break today? All right, Cougars set to kick the ball off. Urbano lines it over to the left side and out of bounds, so the penalty's going to go against the Cougars. So do they want the Cougars to re-kick is the question. So Inglewood, this is not a bad football team. They beat Lusinger earlier in the year, 21-19 on a fumble. Lusinger had a 19-14 lead. Lusinger had a 19-14 lead with 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter, fumbled the punt at their own 5-yard line. Inglewood recovered and took it in. So what do you think of this Inglewood team beating Lusinger, Bill?
Well, you know, Jason, it's no secret that I am a Lusinger High School alumnus, but I'd just like to say that, you know, any given team can win on any given day. Sometimes you feel like a nut, and sometimes you don't. Let's go back to football.
No comment. Shotgun formation. Philip Reed gets it. 4 wide receivers out into the pattern for Reed. He'll take off, get the first down and more, out to the 50, and a nice run by Philip Reed into Cougar territory. 1st and 10. might be wondering who Rufus is this week. Rufus will be back with you next week from Lusinger High School, along with the rest of our Channel 60 crew. But take another look as they go with the hurry-up offense. Philip Reed dodging tacklers and taking off, getting himself the first down. All right, Reed looks to run again. The Cougars not biting. He's hit and dropped by Chris Perry of the Cougars. 1:33 left to play here in the first half. Chris Perry, split end, defensive end. He looks like it today. He made the tackle, 6'2", 200. Nice solid size for a high school football player. All right. Second down and 16. Second down and 17, you might want to call it. Shotgun once again for Philip Reed. Inglewood sends 4 wide receivers out into the pattern. Reed stepping up, looking to run again. He does not want to throw that football. Out to the sideline, strung out, and knocked out of bounds at midfield. Bill, what do you think about next week's game? Hawthorne and Lusinger.
Well, I tell you what, it's going to be the rumble in the jungle as those two teams, crosstown rivals, are going to meet at Channel 60's Game of the Week to basically try and destroy one another because, as you know, that's bragging rights for a year, Jason. Back to you.
What do you think about the new Mayor's Trophy they added for the winner? Trophy added by the mayor.
Well, you know, it's always good to see something positive going towards the high school football program. So as far as that goes, the trophy, that ought to be a nice little piece of work. Has anyone seen the trophy yet? Okay, that's what I thought. Back to football.
Philip Reed in deep trouble. He's going to throw the Hail Mary, and Keith Green is there to pick it off. Nice play by the senior. He says, no way, you're not going to get the deep ball on me, and the Cougars will take over with 46 seconds remaining in the half and a 38-0 lead. There's Keith Green, 5'10", 190-pound senior. Take another look as we did not think Philip Reed was going to throw this ball out of the shotgun. He started to run a little bit too much, but as you see, Phil Reed, he's going to scramble around, try and beat containment. Kenny Finau gets caught inside. Thought he had a receiver open, but the senior, Keith Green, does his job, picks it off. Cougars with it, 1st and 10. Andre Cummings. Breaking tackles, upfield, big hole. Andre Cummings getting out to the outside and down at the 33-yard line. So Andre the arm is Andre the legs, that play. With 34 seconds remaining, clock will stop until the chains are set. They'll start it now. First down and 10 for the Cougars. Take another look at that one. Andre shaking off tacklers. Does he have, being told he looks like Randall Cunningham. Andre will tell you that he looks like Andre the Arm Cummings. Split backs. Cummings will put it up again. He's going for the bundle. Chapman, incomplete. An inch too long for him. Looked like he was looking up into the sun and may have lost it in the air. 6 seconds remaining for the half. Cougars going for the bundle. Bill, do you think he could have caught this as you take a look at the replay?
Well, you know, Jason, he is on the sunny side of the field there, and he does look back. I tell you, the ball only misses by about a foot, but that's just about a step. I don't know, maybe a little diving ability there might have brought that one in.
All right, last play of the half, perhaps. Up the middle, Keith Aquina, incomplete. Well, I guess that one took 4 seconds out of the 6 seconds, so 2 seconds remaining. So they're giving a Mayor's Trophy. Since it's the Channel 60 Bowl for next week's game, I say we give them one of those popcorn bowls.
Oh, I don't know, or maybe a salad bowl, perhaps. You know, what are they really trying to achieve by this? I don't know, but hopefully it'll be something positive.
All right, 3rd down and 10. Etchema gonna get it, run out the clock, and that's the end of the first half, which has been all Cougars. Brandy Russell, Jermaine Chapman, and the Tioli Tuipulotu show will continue in a couple of seconds as we'll take a break on Lawndale's Community Cable, Channel 60. Team. This is Etchema turning the corner. Joe Etchema again breaks it free inside the 25, spun out of bounds.
And they just can't tackle him, Jason.
And another Cougar first down on a big carry by Joe Etchema.
I tell you what, Inglewood did not look and did not appear to be a terrible team or a bad team by any means. But today, Hawthorne has really just taken it to these guys.
These look like the Cougars of 92 and 93, the ones that went to the CIF championship.
Well, they're certainly playing in championship form.
All right, first down and 10 at the 20-yard line. The Cougars looking to put another 6 on the board. They're up 38-0 here in the third quarter. Andre Cummings at quarterback. Russell and Etchema split backs. Cummings gonna go to the air. He has Hampton wide open. Hampton's got it. Hampton scores.
And just that quick, the Cougars rally down the field and put another 6 points on the board.
So this drive, 2 plays, a minute and 16 seconds.
Unbelievable, unbelievable. Just all offense, all Cougar offense, all the way. As this Inglewood team tries to rally up some confidence, the band pounding away on those drums. Take a look at the replay, and he's just wide open, turns the corner, and get away from me, Dion.
Extra point up and through, and it's the Cougars 45, Inglewood nothing. From Coleman Stadium, the Hawthorne Cougars are back.
Well, I tell you what, at this rate, Jason, they could go into the triple digits as we take a look at the Inglewood High School cheerleading squad, who we have nothing but good things to say about here at Channel 60, Lawndale's community cable television. You know, we ran into a little bit of trouble with them last season, but hey, it's all water under the bridge now, Jason, as the Hawthorne Cougars prepare to kick off.
So Hawthorne set to kick it off again. We have had some exciting special teams plays this game. 60-yard kick punt return by Tuipulotu. Score 45-0 now.
Yeah, I've got to tell you, the special teams by Inglewood have been looking just that, special.
So Hawthorne set to kick it away as they have looked flawless. Dan Robbins and his coaching staff done an excellent job.
This one is returnable.
That's going to be returned by Anthony Carter out to the 26-yard line. No, he's not the former NFL great Anthony Carter.
Possibly any relation, Jason?
Possibly. All right, first down and 10 for Inglewood. The Cougars with a 45-0 lead. They keep in their A-team on defense as well as their offense.
Well, I tell you, Jason, at this point in the game, you got to play your starters. Of course, later on, you're gonna start seeing some clean uniforms come onto the field. But at this point, you know, you're the coach of Hawthorne. You got to want to run it up just a little bit.
All right, Inglewood starting once again in that power I formation that they tried early but didn't work. They try and stretch the field. Here's Porter on the sweep, hit and knocked down for a loss of 2.
Oh, I'm not too sure he was knocked down, Jason. It appeared to me that he slipped. However, it didn't look like he had much going for him after he would have turned that corner anyway, but I do believe he slipped on that play.
As the Inglewood band is right in front of us and we can't hear ourselves think.
But I tell you what, this band is truly rocking.
Go ahead, Bill. Shake your groove thing. All right, second down and 14 for the Sentinels. Shannon Dorsey at tailback.
Second down, Inglewood.
Philip Reed gives it to Dorsey. Over the left side, Dorsey spins, gets the yardage back, and gets to the 29. It's going to be 3rd down and 8.
And I tell you, Jason, the game continues to look very ugly for Inglewood.
How ugly?
Ugly enough, Jason.
All right, last week we saw a 55-0 blowout at Lusinger with Peninsula and Lusinger. This week, 45-0 in the third quarter. And I believe it was 49-0 third quarter last week.
Well, you know, Jason, the key is not to get skunked.
All right, 4 wide receivers set, shotgun formation by the Wood, as it's written across their jerseys. Wood going out of the shotgun, and
what went
the
wrong
center
there?
forgot the snap count.
And I tell you, the official forgot to pull his flag. Appeared like it was like stuck in his hand or something.
The center, that's what happened. He forgot the snap count. Everybody moved but him. So it's offsides on the whole Inglewood offense except for the center.
Well, I tell you what, he's got to be looking back at the coach saying, hey, coach, it wasn't me. It was those guys. I'm the center. They're supposed to move on the ball. Oh, okay then. Well, as we attempted to get you the replay there, what happened was the center snapped the ball, didn't realize the snap count, and snapped the ball too late.
3rd down and 13 for the Wood. At their own 25. Back to throw. Reed in the pocket. Incomplete, in and out of the hands of Anthony Porter.
And I tell you what, I'm really surprised we haven't seen more turnovers these games as the ball continues to just bounce out of the hands of really players for both teams, and it's hanging up there in the air, Jason. As you know, as a former high school football coach yourself, those tip drills, you keep your eye on the ball, you concentrate, and you pull it in.
This has been exciting. Now, Tui Pelotu, who returned at 60 yards, Brandy Russell, and Jermaine Chapman. Well, now Brandy Russell goes out of the game, so it's Jermaine Chapman and Tui Pelotu. It's going to go to Chapman. He's going to have a chance for a return. Chapman in Inglewood territory. Chapman lost it, got it back. Whoa, these returns have been exciting today.
I tell you what, did he lose it or was it a pitch, Jason? It appeared to me he was trying to pitch it to a teammate as he knew he was going to be tackled. So Hawthorne might have got lucky trying to get away with something fancy there. As you see the smile on his face there from across the field. Yeah, let's take another look at it on the replay. Oh, no, he does just lose it. And then he gets it back. He actually lost the ball, turns around, and as he's turning around, the ball lands right back into his hands. I tell you what, just if there wasn't, dumb luck, what do you call that?
Coach, I just lost it. I guess that's what you tell the coach. All right, 1st down and 10 for the Cougars. Tui Pelotu now in at tailback with Kenny Finau at fullback. Cougars trying a lot of different combinations. Tui Pelotu cuts it upfield, and the bus rumbles and stumbles inside the 30 to the 27. I think we got him a nickname, Bill.
Okay, the bus. And appeared to me that no one for Inglewood had exact change as he just bust up the middle.
When he gets his momentum and weight going forward, he is a tough man to stop.
I tell you what, the bus, that's a as we take a look at the freeze frame, that's a nice shot of both teams there. And here we have the replay. And he still loses 1 passenger, 2 passengers, 3 passengers. So I guess, yes, the bus would be a good nickname.
1st and 10 from the 29. Cummings going to give it to Tui Pelotu. Big hole. Oh, and he's upended. Tui Pelotu was going to go in for a touchdown right there if he wasn't upended.
But he was stopped by number 20, James Allen. The house mouse takes down the bus. When you're a little guy, Jason, you want to hit him low as not to take the full brunt of all that weight coming at you.
Second down and about 6 for
Little
the
high
Cougars.
school spirit.
Second down and 6 as it starts to darken here on the field at Coleman Stadium. Tui Pelotu up inside on the pitch again. Rumbles, stumbles towards the first down. Looks like he's got it, and the Cougars will get a new set.
And I tell you what, Jason, you know, I'm not a scout, I'm not a coach, but it appears to me that at this point in the game, Hawthorne is just trying to push up my man's stats. They've given him the ball every down so far, and I guess, hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Tui
Take a look at the
Pelotu.
replay. Oh, and one of his own players takes the brunt of that one.
Look like we have an injury timeout on the field. And that gives us a chance to mull over some of the things Channel 60 might donate to the big rivalry game next week. My suggestion, a popcorn bowl.
A popcorn bowl. Well,
Popcorn tub, actually.
Okay, well, I tell you what, if Channel 60 donates the popcorn tub, then I'm going to bring the butter. Because it's going to be one of those games that even if you're there live to watch, folks, you're going to want to have to go home and watch it again on Lawndale's Community Channel 60. Game is also, of course, seen in Hawthorne, Channel 22.
45-0. The Cougars. Injured Inglewood players, some of the band members. Bill, nice hat. I'd like to get one of those for myself.
I tell you what, the Inglewood High School team marching band has spared no expense on the uniforms. However, I've got to tell you, Jason, they are truly one of the most dynamic marching bands I've seen here in the South Bay.
Looks like they get their style from Southern or Grambling, one of those Southern
Oh,
schools.
definitely one of the Southern schools. Up into the uniforms, you know, actually, that's one of those uniforms that you see. Take a look at it there. The green T-shirt with the white button-up long sleeve underneath, of course, you know, with the black Dickies. They look sharp, actually.
All right, still an injured player on the field. That gives us time to tell you that this game is being brought to you by the Lawndale Cable Usage Corporation. If you want more exciting stuff like this, as you see Hawthorne Jose, our cameraman, he'll be rooting for the Cougars next week.
That's right. Hawthorne Jose, our cameraman up top, ladies and gentlemen. I tell you what, don't think that we don't take it for the team here at Channel 60 because Jose was bum-rushed by the Inglewood School District Police Department until he had to pull out his credentials. But he's a much better young man for it today.
All right, looks like the young man's going to get off. By the way, neither programs were provided to us this week. Neither, no rosters were provided to us. We, of course, had to know the Cougars. We know them off the top of our head. Charles Holloway and James Allen and Darnell Brown helped us out with the Inglewood players. But if this game becomes a blowout and they put in some of the reserves, we're not going to know who's in.
Well, I tell you what, Jason, if that's the case, just look to hear the number and the number only. Let me give you an example. Number 28 with the ball. Number 28 to the 5. Number 28. Touchdown. Number 28. Is that about right, Jason? Is that about how it's going to go?
Yes. First down and 10 for the Cougars as we come back to action. Cougars with it at the 17. Keith Aquina moves from tight end to the split out over on the right side. Cummings, quarterback draw. Cummings has his lane. Andre Cummings is going to be dragged down and dropped by the...
I tell you, on plays like that, Jason, you want to see them bring back the tearaway jersey that they used to use in college. Because I tell you what, without that guy hanging on to that jersey, he would have been gone.
2nd and 3. There you see Andre Cummings.
Let's take a look at the replay here, Jason. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. He's off to the races. However, number 29 for Inglewood look at him, get off of me.
That's exactly how it sounded. 2nd down and 3 for the Cougars. Tui Pelotu deep in the eye at tailback.
4:20 left to
They're
go
going
in
to
the
give it
third.
to Finau on the fullback dive. Finau doesn't see many carries. He gets no gain right there.
Well, I tell you what, that's number. Kenneth Bernal there, the ball carrier, going up the gut, up the middle for nada nunca, as they say. As we take a look at the score. Hawthorne 45, Inglewood 0. Goose egg.
And the Cougars knocking on the door
Double
looking
nothing.
for more.
Nada.
3rd down and 3.
No points. They've got nothing.
Cummings to Tuipulotu. They go to the reverse to Chapman. Chapman is in big trouble of being thrown for a loss, and he has that done to him. Marvin Banks on the stop.
I tell you, Jason, Hawthorne are now going in deep into their bag of tricks to see what can we try on these guys. Hey, Coach, can I give my little cousin the ball?
I think what the Cougars are trying to do is show the other team something for the playoffs.
Well, let's take another look here at the replay. This is after the reverse. And, oh, just no running room.
4 down territory for the Cougars.
Good open field tackling there for Inglewood. However,
as it starts to get a little bit more darker, they're going to have to turn those lights on pretty soon. 4th down and about 7 for Hawthorne. Cummings in trouble. Cummings doesn't have anyone open. Chapman incomplete.
oh, and I tell you, Jason, that was a smart play on behalf of the quarterback because his receiver was double covered. If he would have tried to force that ball, you were possibly looking at a pick.
So Andre Cummings and his Cougars are being held by the Sentinels. The Sentinels do hold, and they get the ball as they come up with a defensive stop. Maybe a little, too late. 45-0 Cougars in the 3rd quarter. 2:41
I
left.
tell you, Jason, too little, too late. But every little bit counts, as the old woman said.
All right, Inglewood, 1st and 10.
Oh, who's number 75 for Inglewood?
He's a big boy, isn't he?
That's definitely a bucket-fed kid there.
Inside give on the counter play, Shannon Dorsey.
And he gets up, fired up.
And that's one thing that's hard to do when you're down 45-0, stay fired up.
Well, I tell you what, I don't know if he was mad at his line or let's take a look at the replay. It appears all the blocking was there. Maybe he was just a little frustrated himself. Up the middle, breaks a few tackles, and then has to settle for a couple of yards.
All right, now it's 2nd down and about 8. 2nd down and 8, maybe 7. Anthony Porter gets the carry up the middle, gets a nice hole. Porter carries it outside the 20 to the 21.
That could be good enough for the first, Jason. Oh, well, it appears it's going to be good enough for 3rd.
Hope you enjoyed this. This game was supposed to be at 7:30, moved to 3 o'clock. I got a call today at 12:30 saying come on out to the game, and our Channel 60 staff made it. Kudos to all of you.
Well, I tell you what, Jason, I'm about an hour and a half out of the city myself, so it was quite an endeavor for me. However, I got to ask, why is it suddenly pushed up to 3 o'clock?
3rd down carry up the middle, and Shannon Dorsey's going to have the 1st down for Inglewood.
And they continue to move the ball. It looks like Inglewood might have a slow drive. I've started here.
Bill, I believe it was moved up because Morningside has their homecoming game tonight, and it was just a scheduling conflict as both teams share the stadium.
Now, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's a little tidbit of information that you just don't learn every day. As we take a look at the replay. 1st down, Inglewood. Oh, and offsides.
Hold your water there. It looked like Sandy Fletcher was the Sentinel that jumped off, number 11.
Well, whomever it was, he brought a slew of team members with him because once they saw movement, they all decided to go.
And it's going to be 1st down and 15.
As a courtesy, we won't show the instant replays, not to get that young man into trouble.
Sandy Fletcher, we do
I'm
not
kidding,
want to
of course.
embarrass him. 1st down and 15 for the Sentinels. Play action. Reed looking up top. Reed is sacked. Sacked by about 3 Cougars. Corey Thedford. And Kenny Finau is also there, along with Chris Perry.
Yeah, and I tell you what, he's looking at the official, kind of telling the official, hey, man, I wasn't down. But I tell you what, he better go ahead and take that sack because if not, the Cougars are really going to bring down the house on him. As we take another look on the play, he's definitely under some pressure. He steps up. Looks like he wanted to run, but number 44 puts
right.
the grab on him.
That's the end of the third quarter with our score. Our hometown Cougars 45, the Inglewood Sentinels nothing. Channel 60 Sports to take a break and be back in about a second and a half. All right, fourth quarter action. And Bill, let's get your unusual perspective on this game.
Well, Jason, there's no need to call it unusual. It's really basically, I'm calling it as the fans would see it. Right now, Inglewood is taking a shellacking by Hawthorne. Hawthorne, at this point in the game, I guarantee you, they're going to start bringing in some of their B-team players, some of their C-team players, as they're continuing their romp on Inglewood. However, Inglewood has a drive going for themselves right now.
All right, Philip Reed, they go back to that wing T formation. Reed to keep it, and Reed is dragged down at the 23-yard line. And let me tell you, it's getting dark, and nobody's turned on the light switch.
Well, I tell you what, Jason, Reed is trying to do it all by himself, but he's not going to be able to do anything for his team in the dark as the sun continues to go down. Obviously, no one read their almanac this morning. Because
Daylight
it's
savings.
It's starting to get dark here in Inglewood.
Take another look. Good job by Kenny Finau to bring him down. All right, third down and 10.
Reed, the quarterback, trying to do it all for his team.
Third and 10 for the Sentinels. Philip Reed, who has taken a straight beating at quarterback today by the Cougar defense.
It's got to be the shoes, Jason. It's got to be the shoes.
Third down and 10. Reed going to be sacked again by 3 Cougars again. Sacked by Kenny Finau, William Vea, and Keith Aquina, along with Acevedo.
I counted 4 Cougars smothering the Sentinel quarterback. I don't know.
10:48 remaining in this ball game.
Let's take another look here on the replay. The quarterback, Reed, gets wrapped up by number 75, and then just a host of Cougars take him down.
All right, another punting situation. Here we go. My favorite point of the game. And Brandy Russell's going to be able to return it. Here we go. Russell starting from his 40. Up to the left side. Brandy Russell with room. Brandy Russell has a chance. Oh, and he's getting stopped.
I tell you what, you talk about an open field tackle. That tackle looked textbook perfect, Jason.
Sandy Fletcher met him and stopped him. But it's still an exciting punt return by Russell.
It's very exciting. However, that hit put on him by Fletcher, it appeared that Fletcher was hitting the practice sled. So he drives him back. Let's take another look. The ball starts out taking a Inglewood bounce. However, as Jason has stated earlier, this guy is explosive. Watch number 11, sheds off a block and then, oh, come here, you're mine.
All right, here's Keith Green as we come back. Look out. He stopped at the 24-yard line. It looks like a rock video. All right, second down and 3 for the Cougars. Joe Etchema, we see him again in it, tailback. Give him the ball. There goes Joe Etchema, looking like Marcus Allen, cuts it in, slithers inside the 20-yard line. One of the Sentinels once again hurt. And the Cougars rolling through this one into next week's showdown for the Mayor's Cup. Lusinger and Hawthorne, crosstown showdown for the Mayor's Cup in the Channel 60 Bowl 97.
I'm still with you, Jason. I'm just trying to do it all. As you see, take another look on the replay, Number 18 gets all that he can.
And the Cougars looking to get it above 50 once again. Trying to eclipse the 50 mark, leading 45-0. 8:47 remaining in this ball game as they have really coasted through. Started off on their first possession, a 60-yard punt return for a touchdown by Sioli Tuipulotu, a 40-yard touchdown catch by Jermaine Chapman, and a bevy of other scores for Hawthorne as their offense looks to be one of the best right now in the area. Certainly one of the most talented.
Well, with a score of 45-0, you got to say somebody's definitely pretty talented out there. Both ball clubs are pretty much evenly matched coming into this game.
Stevanti Topsy is the injured Sentinel. I think it's pretty early. It's pretty early in the fourth quarter, but it's time to start thinking about our Lawndale Cable Usage Corporation player of the game, Bill. And my vote goes to Sioli Tuipulotu once again as he ran the 60-yarder. He had the 65-yard touchdown run. He has done an awesome job.
Well, I got to tell you, Jason, that's it's a tough call on the Hawthorne side, seeing as how the entire team is doing so much to win. But if I had to pick one for Inglewood, it's going to be their quarterback.
For the game, period. Talking your mic, you said. All right, they give it to Etchema on the counter again. Flag down. Etchema's taking it inside the 5 to score, but a penalty marker. 3 flags thrown in succession, and this one is going to come back without a doubt. With 3 flags, you'd think one of them has to be against the Cougars.
Well, possibly, but however, Jason, if we really take a look at the way Inglewood's played this game, you never really know. As you saw holding. Also, with 3 flags, all 3 flags go towards the Cougars.
I think only one should count, though. Yep, the holding account would be 1st and 20.
Well, you got to go for the big one.
All right, the lights are on now.
Yes, the lights are on. So
the lights are on.
Possibly have ourselves a ball game. With 8 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter, Hawthorne still leads 45-0 over Inglewood.
1st down and 20 for the Cougars. Prince Hampton out to the right side. And pitch goes to Etchema. Etchema cuts it upfield again inside the 20-yard line. All the way down to the 15. So the Cougars now, on that last play, they had Andre Cummings split out at the left wide receiver spot, and Keith Green, the backup quarterback, running some plays. Take another look.
All right, as you can see here on the replay, which I really can't see up here in the booth because our monitor has just completely gone kaplooey.
Can you spell kaplooey? All right, 2nd down and 7. Inside give, and now cuts it upfield inside the 10, bangs down to the 5.
And another smash mouth run by the Hawthorne Cougars up the gut and up the middle, Jason. They don't pull back any slack whatsoever. They go directly at.
There's been so many smash mouth runs by the Cougars this week. Inglewood may not have any teeth left after this ball game.
I tell you what, either that, Jason, or they're just going to resemble hockey players at the end of this game.
1st and goal to go for the Cougars at the 6-yard line. Hampton out to the right. The quarterback, now receiver, Andre Cummings to the left. Keith Green in at running back. Finau and Etchema the running backs. Play action. Green running left, looks to take off. Got a block, didn't read it correctly, and he's dropped at the 9 and the flag flies.
Flag is down, though, Jason, and I'm going to have to say this one's going to go against the Cougars.
Another holding call coming against Hawthorne.
And I tell you what, Jason, this seems to be the only way that they're going to be able to move that Hawthorne offense back, is if they move themselves back on turnovers.
But this gives Coach Robbins something to complain about.
Well, if you know anything about the Hawthorne High program, Coach Robinson's one of those coaches. He's hard and he's into his players, and even on a good game, he'll find something to let those guys know that, you know, you're not the best yet.
1st down and goal from the 20-yard line. Keith Green fakes it, runs it, and he's thrown for a loss by Sandy Fletcher.
So what do you do now if you're the Hawthorne Cougars, Jason? What do you do now?
Well, Keith Green's had a tough time of it on this drive. Timeout called by the Cougars.
Well, it's going to bring up timeout. However, it's going to be second down.
There goes Dan Robbins, gets those arms a flapping again this week. You know he loves to get animated in our Robbins Watch. Coach Dan Robbins of Hawthorne.
So talk to me, Jason. Tell me, what would you do if you were the Inglewood High School coach at this time?
I'd get some of those Pine Pilots in and call it a day. As Dan Robbins is out on the field talking to his boys, and we love to watch Dan Robbins out talking to his boys because he gets so animated.
Who's the head coach for Inglewood? Is that Rico no more?
All right, 5:49 left to play in this ball game. 45-0, the Cougars. They'll love this score, the Cougar faithful, when they read the paper tomorrow morning. Cougars will probably leave this game, as you see Coach Robbins, they'll probably leave this game, go home, get dressed, and catch the Lusinger Torrance game at Zamborini Field.
Well, I tell you what, Jason, no matter what they do, they're going to still need about 3 more touchdowns just to even match the shellacking they took a couple weeks ago against Peninsula.
Second and goal from the 28. Doesn't sound right, but it is true. Second and goal from the 28. Keith Green dumping it wide open, and
oh! Unbelievable.
Andre Cummings, the quarterback, can't handle a pretty pass.
I tell you what, Jason.
Was he too open?
You know, he was just too wide open. I mean, there was invisible blockers, tacklers, and everything else down there. There is no reason why he missed that ball. Unbelievable.
You know, this is when you're up 45-0, this is where your players might give you some jokes in the huddle about that play when you're up 45-0.
Well, I tell you what, Jason, he better not ever say anything to any of his receivers for dropping passes. When you look at this and it's just what
spell
happened?
that.
Later on.
Third down and goal from the 28-yard line. Keith Green.
For this one.
Rolling, tells his man to go deep, rolling
he's
again.
Just going to scramble.
Looking
And
like a elusive quarterback.
He's still on his feet.
Finally thrown down for the loss.
I tell you what, all he needed to do after that was throw the ball for a touchdown. And I think he would have had himself a starting position next week, Jason.
Fourth down and goal to go as the Cougars having a little bit of fun out there.
If I'm Hawthorne, I'm going to kick this one.
Take another look at the replay, Bill.
Well, if we could, Jason, I guess we would. As you can see on the replay here, we've got a picture. He breaks 1 tackle, breaks 2 tackles, breaks 3 tackles. And he's still on his feet until finally he's just run down.
How many times do you punt it on 4th and goal, Bill?
I don't know.
The Cougars go to a fake.
Oh!
Chris Perry in and out of his hands. And Inglewood to take over.
That would have been good enough for the first down, in and out of their hands. And you know, the funny thing is, Jason, drop passes is what's killed Hawthorne against Peninsula a couple weeks ago.
First down and 10 for the Sentinels, trying to get something back. The Cougars with some of their reserves in the ball game now. Take another look at that fake punt.
Okay, let's take another look at it if we could.
Inglewood calls for time. Just what we need with 4:41 left in a 45-0 blowout.
You know, at this point, Jason, if I'm the coach of Inglewood, I'm putting in my third-string players and I'm going for bombs. Nothing but bombs.
All right, during this timeout, we have a chance to tell you that this program is the property of Lawndale Cable Usage Corporation. You may not use it unless you have express written consent by Channel 60 Sports.
And I tell you what, Channel 60's got the hottest, the best, the baddest sports in the South Bay.
Working cameras for today's game, Ali Santana,
Ali Santana.
Jose Bravo, and Robert Medina.
Got Armin George running replay in the van. Technical director, Tom Strickfaden.
He's taking over the directing duties for the second half. Executive producer, Al Davis of Channel 60 Sports, Mike Galarza, Jason Miller, and Bill Barnes with you in the booth. Glad to have you with us. First down and 10 for the Saints.
What's next, Jason? Little hit
They're going to
pass.
throw it.
Oh, they're going to try to throw it, but nothing doing, Ma.
Nice play by Givens. To trail down Anthony Carter and throw him for the loss.
I tell you what, that was another busted play as we take a look here on the replay. Inglewood was actually trying a little flea flicker, trying to throw the ball downfield, but there was just nobody open as the Hawthorne defense swarmed. And he has nothing left to do except take it out of bounds.
Second down and 10 for the Sentinels. Cougars changing some personnel. And Philip Reed back to throw it. And a diving attempt incomplete.
But a nice attempt at that.
Shannon Dorsey diving down the middle, tried to get that one, but it's incomplete. With 3:47 remaining in this ball game, and the Inglewood band going nuts.
Let's take a look here at the replay, Jason. As you see, steps back, throws the ball, nice delivery. However, he just cannot hang on to the ball. However, nice attempt.
Why don't you preview that Inglewood marching band through our Channel 60 sound, but they just finished their selection.
Well, I truly wish it was a Channel 60 soundproof booth at this moment because these guys are loud.
Second down and 10.
Football action.
Second down and about 11, actually. Reed throws the screen. Nice play caught by Carter.
He's got room.
Porter. Porter's got a first. Porter's got Cougar territory.
All right, so it appears Inglewood's putting together themselves a nice little drive here against the B team of the Cougars.
Showdown next week. I can't say it enough. Hawthorne and Lusinger for the Mayor's Cup in the Channel 60 Bowl 97.
That is going to be the game as we take a look here on the replay. Plenty of running room as he streaks down the sideline, only to be pushed out of bounds, but in Cougar territory.
3 minutes remaining in the ball game. Philip Reed out of the shotgun formation again. High snap. Philip Reed in big trouble.
Wants to pass it, but no, there's nothing going to happen. Hawthorne's defense, they're back in the zone, and they're just, if you take a look at the field now, you can see there's Hawthorne's got 5 guys coming just from the defensive backfield alone.
William Vea made the sack on that last play. And the Cougars have to be approaching double-digit stats. Our statistician not present for tonight's ball game. Sorry about that. But the Cougars will tell you they're approaching double digits.
Well, let's take a look here at the replay, and you'll see why. I wish I could see why, Jason, but the screen is just too messed up here in the booth.
All right, long yardage situation. Third down and about 18. Philip Reed with no backs, gets no blocking, and he's dropped again for another sack.
And you just got to say to yourself, Jason, what else can go wrong? As Inglewood mounts a drive, but at this point it appears they're starting to self-destruct.
So the Cougars have really beat up the quarterback, mugged him, whatever you want to call it.
It's got to be the shoes, Jason. It's got to be the shoes.
Third down and about 17. As you see, take another look at that last sack. 3rd and 17. and it's been a sitting duck type of deal for the quarterback, Philip Reed. He's been a sitting duck for the Cougar rushers. Flea flicker, and of course he's sacked.
Oh my
Tui
goodness.
Peloto, Tui sticks him.
And I tell you what, he's going to be slow getting up, if at all, as he peels himself up out of the turf, Jason. Wow, did he take a hit.
Sioli Tui Peloto comes up with another big play. Our Lawndale Cable Usage Corporation player of the game.
I tell you what, Sioli Uli Patuli here on the replay really puts a Sioli Uli Patuli here on the quarterback as he says, "Hey, Mom, what's for dinner?" Quarterback. Good.
So it's 4th down for Inglewood. The quarterback comes off of the field. He's played a courageous game, and it's too bad that his line did not block for him.
I tell you what,
tonight.
Jason, stick a fork in him. The kid is just done. He's taking hit after hit after hit.
The Cougars want to return another punt, but they're just going to let the clock run down, and that's the ball game. Some final analysis, Bill. 45-0.
Well, I tell you what, the Hawthorne Cougars, they came out today and they just played excellent football. It's no secret to them. They know how it feels to be down real big in an important game. But hey, tonight, all Hawthorne.
Well, thank you for joining us. Andre the Arm Cummings, Sioli the Bus Tui Pelotu, and the rest of the Cougars shut out the Inglewood Sentinels 45-0. For Jose Bravo, Ali Santana, Armin Ore, Bill Barnes, Tom Strickfaden, Mike Galarza, I'm Jason Miller for Channel 60 Sports saying join us next week for the Channel 60 Bowl. The Hawthorne Cougars and the Lusinger Olympians in the Channel 60 Bowl 97 from Howcap Field. The
We're
winner will
outta
get the
here.
Mayor's Cup. So for Bill Barnes, this is Jason Miller bidding you a pleasant farewell from Coleman Field,
And all
where
I
the
have to
Cougars
say
win it.
is whoop whoop,
Cougars win it 45-0.
whoop whoop,
So long.
whoop whoop.